Recording's taking a second. Okay, there we go. Recording started. All right. Okay, we haven't had very many of you reply, but that's okay. So opening up here, what do you think is better? Either cardio or weightlifting? I had one person say cardio, and that was about it. But it's a small class here. Anyways, both are really good for you. I don't think there's really a one or the other. I would suggest doing both personally. Okay, so just so everybody knows, this is being recorded for learning purposes. As we're going through the course, okay, we're making sure we're following along with the Nearpod lesson. We're going to use the chat tool respectfully and appropriately, and also you're responding to questions, instructions the first time, so we can move through things and get through class. Okay, so what we're going to do, we got a couple things that we're going to do to warm up today. Get our bodies moving a little bit. Okay, the first one's called jump squats, okay? What you got to do is you got to squat down, and then you're going to jump up. Okay, we're going to do this for a little bit of time here, probably not all 30 seconds, or I'm going to be winded and can't talk after that. It shows you that I can't, I need to work out a little bit more maybe. Okay. All right, so we got that there. Wall sits. Have you ever done wall sits? Those will, they'll get your legs. So what you're going to do, you're going to go against the wall, and you sit here for 30 seconds. You're going to feel it burning in your thighs. And then after a while, you're going to be shaking. That's for sure. Okay. All right. Next thing you'll do is lunges. And you can work on do this a little bit for your exercise. So you just lunge down, come up here, just like so. This again gets your glutes and your hamstrings, your quads, get everything working for you this morning. Get your brain flowing. Okay, the last one's hip thrust, okay? This one would be hard to do. I can't really show, but what you do is you put on your back. So I'm just going to kind of get on my chair here, and you get your back on your chair, and then you just lift your butt up, okay? And so that really helps your hamstrings, especially if you have sore hamstrings from running or biking or something like that. That's going to help you out there, okay? So, gosh, I got to catch my breath for a second. So that's something that you could do for your activity log. Work on it in there. Okay, we want to follow pace real quick. Make sure you're participating, being positive, encouraging others, active, continuous 30-minute routine of physical activity. And then also evaluate yourself, what you can do to get better, be better, stay more healthy, because if you lose your health, it's not good. Okay, so some things that you need to do in this class. What can you do to get better, right? You got your weekly quizzes. We do have our word of the week every week. Last time I was doing it by letter. I just have one at the very end of class, okay? So if you can't stay till the end of class, you'll want to rewatch the recording so you can get that. And then also your activity logs. So if you haven't done them, go turn them in so you can get there. If we go to the class, you can see I'm going to put the lesson recordings right here on the announcement page. Today we're going to be in Unit 2, working through some stuff. We have the quiz. I got the Nearpod link. I'll post the recording here. Activity log. You click this, and it will help you make. It'll just have you make a copy, and you have it right here to download. Okay, and you'll put in what you've done. Okay, so pretty easy there. And then you got the quiz. If you look at what's going on here, we have live class this week, as you can see, because it's the first Wednesday of the month. We'll have another live class on the 21st. Then we'll have a recorded class on the 14th and 28th. Next week, I do my gradings on Tuesday for this class. So you'll have the motor skills quiz there, the activity log, and then the end of the block ends on the 18th. Okay. So we got some things to kind of roll through. Let's get back to the Nearpod here. Okay, we're going to talk about motor skills and fitness. And the stages of learning motor skills. If you kind of look at little babies, I was camping this weekend and there was some little babies up there, and they were all at different stages of motor development. Okay, some need kind of help with walking, some could walk, but they're stumbling. And then you had my kids, they're a little bit older, they were running around being crazy the whole time. And they brought their bikes up there. We've had some crashes on some bikes, right? So all of those are kind of motor skills on there. So you have the cognitives, the stages cognitive, what to do. So they're gathering information, they're processing it. They make large gains, inconsistent performance, verbal motor stage. Okay. So this is where they're processing, they're learning as babies. They learn to speak, right? Because that kind of helps with their development. And you can see them go from not being able to roll over to standing up and to walking. Okay. Associated, it's how to do it. So putting actions together like in sequence. Okay. Being able to throw a ball for the first time, ride a bike. You have small gains, disjointed performance, conscious effort. And so this is your motor stage. So this is like your toddler to, all the way till you get to a stage where you kind of learn a thing. And then you have your autonomous. This is do it. Okay. This takes much practice. So you're thinking about how to play a sport, right? The different movements you have to do. Like think tennis, for example, right? You have to learn how to do a backhand, how to get in certain spots, how to find out different angles. It takes much practice. Its performance seems unconscious. So after a while, you start to get into a flow and a groove, and your body moves and works in there, and you become smooth and automatic. So it's called the automatic stage. Okay, we're going to watch this little video real quick about how this all comes together and works within the body.
Welcome to another Anatomy and Physiology important piece of art. You should be the process important piece of art. After watching this video, you should be able to define a motor unit and describe the process of recruitment in generating varying levels of muscular tension. Let's begin by looking at this image here, where we see a muscle from the arm with its individual motor units color-coded as purple, blue, or red. Recall that a motor unit consists of a motor neuron and all the muscle fibers it controls. The cell bodies of these motor neurons reside here in the spinal cord, and here we see the muscle fibers they control. The purple motor neuron controls only the purple muscle fibers. The blue motor neuron controls only the blue fibers, and the red only the red. The axons of these three motor neurons are bundled together to form the motor nerve that controls this particular skeletal muscle. The number of fibers in a particular motor unit indicates how fine or precise that motor unit is. The precise control of eye movements is achieved by motor units with only 4 to 6 muscle fibers, while the more gross or larger movements of our limbs may be controlled by motor units with 1 to 2,000 fibers. To achieve a smooth and steady increase in muscular tension, you progressively recruit more motor units. Recruitment begins by first activating small motor units and continues by progressively involving larger motor units with faster and more powerful muscle fibers. For instance, compare lifting a cup of coffee to lifting a heavy dumbbell. Lifting the coffee requires precision. So just a few motor units and therefore relatively few muscle fibers are involved. Lifting the dumbbell, however, requires maximal tension. Many more motor units must be recruited to involve a maximum number of muscle fibers and generate as much tension as possible. This image uses the same color key to distinguish our 3 motor units and demonstrates how, during sustained contractions, motor units take turns, allowing some to rest while others actively contract. This relay team approach is called asynchronous motor unit summation. You subconsciously gauge the amount of motor units needed to do a job, but sometimes you get fooled. Have you ever reached into the refrigerator to grab a gallon of milk you thought was full, but was actually empty? You lift the empty container too forcefully, not because your muscle fibers contract more forcefully, but because you recruit more motor units than needed. To summarize, a motor unit is a single motor neuron and all the muscle fibers it controls. Motor units vary from just a few fibers, as in the muscles controlling fine eye movements, to several thousand fibers, as in the limbs. Recruitment is the process of progressively involving more motor units to achieve a smooth and steady increase in tension, and begins by first recruiting small motor units, followed by larger and more powerful motor units. So what? Why is it important to understand a motor unit and the process of recruitment? Well, this helps you understand the complexity of human movement. For example, this is one of the reasons why your muscles become stronger when you lift weights at the gym. Lifting progressively heavier weights trains a muscle to recruit more motor units. As more motor units become involved in a movement, the greater the tension generated by that muscle. You see the results as increased strength.
How motor skills start to work and move from there. So, what is motor fitness? It is your ability to perform during physical activities. Okay. Depending on what you're trying to do, make sure you can catch a ball, throw a ball, run a certain way. It associated with muscle activity. So you need to have all those muscles coordinating with each other. Your brain, CNS, and muscles all need to work together in order to accomplish this task. Oh, I was supposed to take that out of there. Okay. So what you have here, skills related to physical fitness. So agility, being able to go back and forth, move side to side, being able to have balance, getting up from one leg to another, coordination, being able to see a ball and be able to catch it, be able to have speed, be able to come faster, power, that you're able to move through things there, and then also reaction time. Okay, so agility is the ability to change course, controlling your body's direction and position while keeping in movement. So as you can kind of see this picture here, going back and forth, touching those things, moving side to side. Shuttle runs would be a good way to show your agility. The next one is balance. One of the hardest things, actually, just be able to stand on one foot. And how long can you stand on one foot for? You also have these balance things there. You also have dynamic versus static. So static, staying in one position for a long amount of time. And then dynamic is doing it while moving. Next one's coordination, being able to synchronize of your sense and body parts that enhance motor skills. So as you see here, throwing a ball, catching a ball, throwing it off the wall, being able to get that hand-eye coordination and be able to work that all together. Oh, I'm missing my D. It just says speed. Oh, my D's down here. Speed, right? Being able to move your body swiftly, okay? So you think about this maybe in track runners, swimming, quickness and speed, really kind of a little bit of the same thing. My kids love to pretend like they're ninjas, right? So they think they're super fast or speedy. Okay, the next one's power. Okay, a combination of speed and muscle force equals the power. So being able to jump high, or lift weights, all of those things talk about power and how to build up power. The next one's reaction time. Okay, you don't want to be like this person. I actually saw this video the other day where they were in a professional soccer game. The person wasn't watching, and the ball comes over, not watching at all, and just hits the lady right in the face. So you do not want to be that, right? Here's something you can kind of look at your reaction time. So if you put your hand and you have something, let's see here. Pen right here, okay? You go, drop, catch it. Oh, see? My reaction time was not very fast, right? Drop, catch. There we go, okay? So you got to work on that kind of reaction time to be able to do that. Okay, so what you'd want to do, make sure you know all of these because that's going to help you on your quiz as you move through this week's unit. Your word of the week is development. Okay, so write that down. Maybe you want to make sure you don't miss the spelling, so I'll leave it up there for a second. Development. And while you're writing that down real quick, remember, you do have your activity log. I'm going to kind of go to that. So make sure you're writing down what you're doing and turning that in because that is a significant part of your grade since we're on online. No, it doesn't have to be all caps. No, just all lowercase. A significant part of your grade is doing the activity log because, I mean, we can't be there like in a brick and mortar school and we're in gym, right? So that's the way I show that you're getting your physical activity in for physical education, okay? Okay, development is the word of the week. Okay, if you have any questions, please feel free to give me a call. I'll be after to answer any questions that you might have. But thanks for showing up here early. I will post this recording. And have a great day, everybody. And stay active. Thanks. We'll see you.